Hello everyone, welcome to my channel B&B CBS Gossip 24. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful. Finn becomes suspicious, and Steffy Forrester can't contain her jealousy. Hope Logan and Steffy Forrester appear to have put an end to their disagreement over The Bold and the Beautiful for the time being. According to soap opera spoilers, it won't be long until the rivals start fighting once more. Do you want to see more of The Bold and the Beautiful? Get the most recent information on The Bold and the Beautiful delivered right to your email. Is it related to Hope's marriage to Liam Spencer? Here are spoilers for the upcoming episodes of B&B. Fans of Bold and Beautiful are overjoyed to see Queen Steffy back on canvas after Jacqueline MacInnes would returned from maternity leave. When Steffy praised HFTF and appeared completely cool with Brooke Logan snatching her mom's Guy Lope wedding chatter irks Queen Steffy, she startled Hope Logan and fans back home. Spoilers for Bold and the Beautiful indicate that there will be a lot of talk about Lope's wedding in the FC hallways, which will finally cause Steffy Forrester to do something. Despite her contented marriage to Dr. John Finnegan, Tanner Novlan, she will begin to feel envious of Hope and Liam's reunion. For what length of time will Steffy be able to put up with all the wedding preparations taking place all around her? Remember that Liam Spencer and Steffy were inseparable when he was dying from cancer. Fans often speculate that the authors intended to reunite Steam rather than Lope, but they had to change the plot due to JMW's pregnancy and maternity leave. On Liam's deathbed, sparks were undoubtedly flowing between Steffy and him. Will Finn's wife get envious of Hope? Finn learns a heartbreaking truth. The fact that Steffy's ex-husband is getting married again shouldn't bother her. Over the years, Dr. Finn has put up with a lot from his wife. Imagine how devastated he would be to learn that his wife still harbors affections for Liam Spencer. Will Steffy be able to control her jealousy, or will it cause issues in her own marriage? If Hope is expecting Carter's child, will Liam still wed her? According to previews for The Bold and the Beautiful, Lope is back and better than ever, and the Forrester and Spencer families are eagerly awaiting Liam Spencer and Hope Logan's nuptials. However, there can be a small glitch. Internet rumors suggest that there might be an unexpected guest at the wedding. Will the blushing bride of Liam Spencer have a baby bump as a secret +1? Here are spoilers for the upcoming episodes of B&B. Spoilers for B&B. Is Hope Logan expecting? Rumors that Luna Nozawa is not the only pregnant character on the CBS serial opera Bold and Beautiful have been circulating for some time. According to spoilers, Hope Logan will likely miss the early pregnancy symptoms because she will be too preoccupied with organizing her wedding with her ex. If she is pregnant, it's not her husband's child, so she might choose to ignore them and hope it's just nerves. I hope Logan didn't actually take a break between engagements. She was still engaged to Carter Walton, Lawrence St. Victor, and probably still having sex with him a few weeks ago. Before Hope fled with Liam Spencer and chose to wed him, there is a very probable chance that she and Carter had a child. Will Hope disclose her pregnancy with another man's child before they reach the altar, or will she wait until Liam says I do? Since recovering from his fictitious disease, Liam Spencer has been keen to marry Hope Logan and reunite with his family. Could Hope's pregnancy with Carter's child make him reconsider? Liam may choose to go break up Steffy Forrester's house now that she's back in town. Steffy was standing at the kitchen island, gazing at her phone, neither typing or reading. A picture appeared on her screen. Hope and Finn during last week's hospital charity event. Giggling. Not posed. Not staged. Just simple. Steffy felt her stomach constrict. She wasn't upset. Not precisely. Just conscious. A bit too conscious. Finn entered through the main entrance, his stethoscope still around his neck and his scrubs slightly wrinkled. He grinned and leaned in to give her a kiss. I brought the matcha latte from downtown to you. The one with your favorite honey. Steffy forced a grin. Thank you. Finn was unaware of the thinning of her voice. Tension was rarely apparent to him until it became suffocatingly thick. He was cozy. Be open. Kind. That was Finn's problem. He was trusted by others. Additionally, Hope Logan had always required a secure companion. Hope was at the design studio fixing a hem on one of Beth's gowns for the next children's runway show for charity. But her thoughts were elsewhere, or perhaps on someone else. She repeated what had happened 2 days prior in the hospital cafeteria. Her hands trembled. She was breathing shallowly. Her ribs were being clawed up by anxiousness. Finn was seated beside her. Silent. Right now. No condemnation. There's no pressure. One thing he had said had stuck with her. You don't need to be strong all the time to be worthy of love. It had never been uttered so softly. She was unaware of how much she needed to hear it. She was unaware of how much he understood her without requiring an explanation from her. It wasn't until she looked up and saw Steffy standing in the doorway that she realized she was grinning. Observing. Not upset. Simply perusing the space. Hope's grin dimmed. Between them, there was a slight but profound alteration. With her arms loosely crossed, Steffy entered the studio. She remarked nonchalantly, "You and Finn have been talking a lot lately." Not a charge. However, not a single one. Hope gulped. "We've been supporting one another. He's a pleasure to speak with." "Yes," Steffy replied in a quiet, nuanced voice. "He is." Hope gave a slow nod. "You believe there is a problem?" Steffy gave a headshake. "No. Something seems to be shifting, I believe. And I don't think any of you has noticed it yet." Something fluttered in Hope's mind. Panic? Feel guilty? Yearning? She was unaware. She whispered, "He's your husband." "I'd never." "I understand," Steffy blurted out. Too fast. She didn't fear that Hope would take him. She feared that Finn would unintentionally reveal himself. Steffy murmured, her voice firm despite the pain underneath. "Just be aware. He observes individuals. He is who he is because of that. However, occasionally people begin to recognize him in unexpected ways." Hope gave a nod. She comprehended. Steffy didn't need to say anything more before leaving. Hope let out a trembling breath. Scene 4, The Gentle Envy. Finn and Hope happened to run into each other again that night in the hospital parking garage. "Hey," Finn greeted me. "How are you today?" Hope grinned, worn out and appreciative. "Better. Instead of holding everything, I've been attempting to breathe." With the type of empathy that makes one feel noticed, he nodded. "Well, peace is something you deserve." Then she gave him a serious look. "Kind. Steady. It's true. It makes sense why Steffy was afraid of losing him. Not to be betrayed. To gravity. Because a few spirits were able to identify one another." Hope whispered, "I'm glad you're my friend." Finn's face relaxed. "I'm happy I'm also yours." They did not give each other a hug. They avoided touching. However, the moment was significant, much like the opening note of a song that, if no one intervened, may develop into something else. Finn discussed his day later that evening. It only contained Hope's name. Not emphasized. Not highlighted. Just be there. And I believe that Hope truly needed someone to pay attention to her. She has been harboring a great deal of remorse about Thomas, Beth, and the Q. She is making a great effort to do things correctly. Steffy put down her tea slowly. He was unaware of it. Finn went on, "I believe she doesn't have many people she can break in front of. She has faith in me. I also wish to support her." Steffy remained silent for a considerable amount of time. "Next. I'm afraid of that." Finn gave a blink. "Why?" Steffy muttered, "Because emotional intimacy is still intimacy." Finn gazed. And Steffy, who had endured Liam, triangles, and loving people who weren't her own, at last revealed her truth in a sad, hushed voice. "I can't let someone who doesn't even realize she's reaching for you win." Finn let out a breath. He walked around the table to kneel before her. He said, "You won't." But there was uncertainty in his voice. He spoke in a hopeful tone. And she was most afraid of that. Finn saw Steffy in a different light the following morning. She held her coffee in such manner. The way she kept her eyes off her phone. When he mentioned that he would be late after shift tonight, her breath caught. There was a click in him. It wasn't jealousy. It was terror. Fear of being abandoned. Liam's departure from her. Phoebe's journey through life. The way love had already shattered her. Something constricted in Finn's chest. He loved more than just Steffy. He owed her security. "Steph," he muttered. "Tell me what you're afraid of, please." Her eyes were wet with honesty rather than weakness as she stared up at him. Steffy muttered, "I'm afraid that someone else will see the goodness in you and you won't realize you've given a piece of your heart away until it's gone." Finn stopped breathing. From the cafeteria, Hope laughed. When he consoled her, she started crying. As they talked, Her hand brushed the table. Now he understood the connection. Not hazardous. Not intentional. But genuine. And expanding. Oh, Finn muttered. Steffy shut her eyes. You see it, she remarked. He didn't refute it. The cliffhanger in the final scene. Finn was staring at his phone in the hospital hallway later that evening. Hope had sent him a text. Thank you. For noticing me. When I speak with you, I don't feel invisible. He didn't respond. He didn't remove it, though. Steffy stood calmly behind him, a reflection in the window glass. Not angry. With a deep, deliberate breath, Hope stood at her desk, pinning fabric to a dress form. She made deliberate, precise movements, but her gaze was diverted. Play it again. The garage for parking. The voice of Finn. His eyes were warm. She didn't intend for it to be significant. She didn't intend to be noticed. The instant Hope sensed another presence, she put down her scissors. Steffy didn't make any noise when she came in. Doors were not slammed by her. She didn't enter like a CEO. She moved silently, as if she had spent the entire night choosing to speak with extreme caution. Hope raised her gaze. Their gazes locked. Not a charge. No animosity. Only gravity. Steffy carefully shut the door to the studio. Hope gulped. Steffy. Steffy whispered, I'm not here to fight. That nearly made things worse. Scene 2. The discussion starts. Steffy moved in closer, not to intimidate but to make the space more intimate and emotionally unavoidable. Hope, I love my husband, she uttered. And I'm sure you are aware of that. Hope gave a nod. I do, of course. Steffy went on, her voice calm but brittle at the edges. And I know you would never intentionally cross a line. You've experienced too much to act in such a way. Hope gasped for air. Kindness was not what she had anticipated. Steffy's eyes grew softer, yet they remained steady. But I need you to listen to me. Hope's throat constricted. I am paying attention. Steffy inhaled deeply, preparing herself to speak honestly rather than forcefully. You appear to be relieved to be seen at last when you look at Finn, Steffy murmured. And he appears to want to look after you when he looks at you. Hope shut her eyes. The truth hit too exactly. Steffy went on, her voice barely breaking. That kind of relationship is genuine. And strong. And hazardous, even in cases of innocence. The silence grew thick rather than keen. Hope's voice was quiet. I want to avoid hurting you. That is not something I would ever do. I am aware, Steffy muttered. She had tears in her eyes, but they were controlled. I'm afraid of that. Scene 3. Hope expresses her emotions. With shaky palms, Hope took a leisurely seat at the edge of the table. Steffy, I had no idea what was going on, she said. Finn was simply there. When Beth's relationship was collapsing. When I was having trouble breathing. He made no requests of me. He didn't pass judgment on me. He simply let me be afraid. Steffy nodded, not upset, just paying close attention. Hope's tone softened. Are you aware of how uncommon that is? To be free to be dirty without losing love? A flash of recognition appeared on Steffy's face. Once, in the early days of her relationship with Finn, she had known that. Prior to the world re-entering their union. Hope wiped away her tears. I didn't intend to rely on him. It simply happened. Steffy let out a breath. Take your time. Human. She said, I believe you. Hope's eyes grew wide, a mixture of relief and guilt. However, Steffy went on, believing you doesn't make this easy. Scene 4. Steffy's haunted memory. With her arms encircling her torso, Steffy made her way to the window. I told myself I could handle losing him when Liam chose you, she murmured. I could reconstruct. Finally, I could discover something that belonged to me. Hope said nothing. And I did, Steffy replied. I located Finn. I was at peace. I discovered a love that didn't involve rivalry. Her voice faltered. I want to keep that. Never again. Not to anybody. Not even to you. Slowly, Hope got up and moved towards her without making contact. Hope muttered, You're not going to lose him. I refuse to allow that to occur. Steffy turned, her eyes calm but sparkling. She stated, This isn't about letting. This is about observing. Hope's breath caught. since she was aware of it. The extended silences. The softness. The way Finn regarded her when she mentioned suffering. She had observed. Steffy moved in closer. Steffy replied softly, "I'm not asking you to avoid him. I want you to pay attention to the distance between you. Of the times that seem significant. Of the calm spots where anything can develop without anyone noticing." With tears streaming down her cheeks, Hope nodded slowly. She said, "I can do that. I'll take care of that. You are important to me. Your family is important to me. I would never want to be the cause of a breakdown." A portion of the fear left Steffy's face as it relaxed. "I'm grateful," she muttered. Hope extended her hand, and Steffy allowed her to do so slowly and delicately. They clasped hands. Not as competitors. Not as mothers. Not as women who are bound to the same man. However, as women who have lost in the past, we won't allow history to repeat itself. Finn sensed the change in the atmosphere as soon as he entered the Cliff House that evening. Steffy stood at the stove, carefully and slowly stirring a pot of sauce. Her shoulders were aware but not stiff. Finn approached her from behind and put his arms around her waist. Warm and trusting, yet deeper, she snuggled back into him. More deliberate. He gave her a shoulder kiss. "What is the purpose of this?" Grinning into her flesh, he asked. Steffy covered his hand with hers. She remarked, "I just needed to remember something." "What is that?" She muttered, "That you're mine, not in the sense of possession, but as reality." Finn's chest constricted out of love rather than fear. Gently turning her, he cupped her face and looked into her eyes. "I am," he declared. "Fully." Steffy gave a tiny, sore, but genuine smile. Finn, however, did not miss it. The shadow. The warning. Something in her eyes has changed. And all of a sudden, he realized. It wasn't just Hope who needed to exercise caution. He did too. Outside, beyond the window. Standing at the driveway's edge, Hope observed the cozy glow within. Not yearning. Not a desire. But sorrow. Guilt, too. Because Steffy was correct. Already, something had changed. Hope was now aware of. Passion is not the most difficult type of temptation. It's cozy. According to teasers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Hope Logan's brief encounter with Liam Spencer may not last very long. This is due to the likelihood that Thomas Forrester will return to town and upset the current peace between Hope and Liam. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful. Will Thomas take Liam's hope? Because if there's one thing we've discovered about Thomas over the years, it's that he constantly aspires to what he is unable to obtain. And now that Hope is engaged to Liam once more, he might very well want her again. Do you want to see more of The Bold and the Beautiful? Get the most recent information on The Bold and the Beautiful delivered right to your email. Furthermore, Hope may come to the realization that she still harbors affections for the attractive fashion designer of Forrester Creations. Their relationship has always been one of push and pull. Fans on the internet naturally had a lot to say about it. Some even wrote, "She really doesn't want to get married," in their comments. I firmly believe that she outgrew him and is now starting to suffer the consequences of her choice. How long before Thomas shows up and reminds her why she enjoyed him so much, commented another critic. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful. Hope Logan's next move? I think I'm officially done with this show. I just can't do any more of the same recycled 3 stories, was another comment. Hope and Liam are here for maybe the 100th time, and Brooke and Ridge are back for the 1,000th. We are all aware that Steffy will eventually create a love triangle. The Luna story was my last hope, but sadly, it has been turned into a terrible tale.